When life gets unpredictable, preparation matters. In medicine, it's all about staying alert, ready for whatever comes through the door. On the road, it's no different. That's why Volvo designs vehicles to help anticipate risk, reduce harm, and protect lives. The Volvo XC90's advanced safety systems inspire confident decisions wherever the road takes you. The Volvo XC90, for life. Proud sponsor of the Pit Podcast. Learn more at volvocars.ca/safety.
Fraud. Everyone at one point in their life is a victim of fraud. Maybe you've had to deal with this one, and that is a fake bill. Maybe you got change at a store, and then you're home, you're looking at your money, and one just isn't right. Joining me on the line now is Manuel Parreira, Regional Director of Currency with the Bank of Canada. Manuel, thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk. First off, how big is the problem today in Canada? When we talk about counterfeit currency, how bad is it?
We've had a significant decrease of counterfeiting in the last number of years. We're around the $1 million mark, which is significantly down from a number of years ago. And we've seen, for the most part, the counterfeiters are having a hard time counterfeiting our Palmer notes. And the denominations we typically see are 20s and 100s.
So it does really come down to paper versus plastic. You've gone to polymer notes, and because of that, you've seen a drop?
We've seen a drop with that, but also we've seen a drop. More people are checking their money. So our education program, we've had some great policing and big seizures of counterfeiting by police, and the bad guys are getting higher sentences. So it's a program we put together a number of years ago. It's a 4-pillar strategy, and it's coming together where we're seeing the counterfeiting slow down dramatically. But keep in mind, counterfeiting can only slow down with that. Eventually, it has to be up to the consumer to check their banknotes, and that's how you stop counterfeiting, by checking the security features.
Okay, so speaking of those security features, I bet you get examples that are brought into the offices like, hey guys, take a look at what they're doing now. When you talk about, in Canada right now, the best of the best counterfeit bills, what are they doing that's duping Canadians? What are some of those big things that you need to guard against that the counterfeiters are doing well?
Well, counterfeiters don't do a good job. They just want to try to pass the note to somebody else. So they're going to try to simulate some features. So they'll simulate a colorful band, or they'll try to do something on the notes where it feels a little raised. But they don't duplicate our product. But they don't have to. They'll make them, they'll put them in circulation or sell them, and the person who's got stuck is the one who's going to lose, the victim.
We're speaking with Manuel Parreira, Regional Director of Currency with the Bank of Canada, about counterfeit currency and money fraud. So I guess, Manuel, what you're saying, it sort of comes down to like quantity over quality, right? Just get as many of those out there.
You're not going to make a lot of money if you make a really, really, really good note that you can pass and you only can afford to make few of them. You want to make a lot more where you can make a lot more money.
What's the security feature that you think has been the hardest to duplicate? The one that's giving consumers the best fighting chance at spotting a fake?
Well, if there's one that we haven't seen anything really duplicated, it's the hidden number that we have in the frosted maple leaf. That one is very difficult to duplicate. Having said that, you have to use a single point light source to see it. So you hold it up to a light and you look through the frosted maple leaf. Our other features, we have raised texture, we have holographic stripes. They're all extremely good features as well. They just have to be used when you receive them. We're just starting to see a little bit more simulation of those, but still easily detectable in terms of spotting the difference.
What are the trends that you see as the bad guys try and, it's a game of cat and mouse no matter what. So what are the trends? Like what are the bad guys trying to do now if the technology is so good?
Well, bad guys are always going to try to make a product that passes initially very quickly. So they change. The one thing about counterfeits is you'll always see a different counterfeit. So you'll see different attempts, different simulations. Again, all easily detected if you actually touch a bill for raised texture and tilt a bill for holographic stripes. But they'll try to simulate the color, simulate a couple of features, maybe take something off a genuine bill and put it on a counterfeit so it looks like there's partial genuine. So those are the kind of things we're starting to see in trends. We're also seeing quite a number of notes that are training notes, and they have Asian writing on there. And because they're having a hard time are polymer notes. They're using these paper notes that have some similarities. They have some Asian writing on there, and they're trying to pass it. And those are sort of things that are easier for them, and easier for them because they can't really counterfeit our bills as well. So it's an easy way to pass that.
So they're are they going to like currency exchange outlets and trying to convert them? Is that what they're doing in that case?
Well, yeah, it's hard to say what they're doing. Typically, counterfeiters will try to sell them in bulk form.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's hard to say where they're exchanging. What we know is that they're ending up at the RCMP lab, and obviously they're tracking it back to who passed it and who it came from. But there isn't a specific way to pass a counterfeit. Counterfeiters will use the lack of knowledge of a consumer to put something on that's flashy, has the same color, and they'll pass it into circulation somehow. Or they'll sell it in bulk to somebody who's going to pass it into circulation.
What about, what can small business owners take away from what we're talking about? Like, I would imagine if you're a bar owner and your place is dark and dimly lit, you're at more risk of taking in a fake bill.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a little darker, a little harder to see, but one of the great things about banknotes, and our Canadian banknotes specifically, is we have a lot of features that you can not only look at, but you can also touch. We have raised texture on the large number. We have raised texture on the shoulders of the portrait. On both sides of the window, we have raised texture where it says Bank of Canada. On our current vertical notes, you can feel the large number and the shoulders of the portrait. Those are all areas you don't need to look at. You can actually feel without looking at. And then as a store owner or somebody who owns an organization, you can also look at some of the features. We have a holographic stripe, which is very visible, hard to duplicate, and all you have to do is tilt it to see it. We have a hidden number in the frosted maple leaf, which you can use with a single point light source. On the vertical note, we have a feather on the back, an eagle feather, which when you tilt, it changes color. And then when you hold it up to light, you can see there's a hidden maple leaf in there. So there's lots of things you can do. And the owner of the business, or anybody really in Canada, should be able to spot a counterfeit by just touching and tilting. And if they're not sure, they can look through the bill. And the features are very prominent, very easy to use, and very hard to counterfeit.
When you redesign a bill, when you go through that process, how high does the security features rank?
Our security features are, I mean, in terms of what we have, they're very difficult, and then they're ranked very high in terms of the quality.
But is that job one for you when you're redesigning a new note? Is job one, forget about who's going to be on it and the contest for this, is job one to make sure it's even more secure than the last one?
Yeah, when we issue banknotes, for the most part, we issue them to stay ahead of counterfeiting. So we want to make sure there's very robust security features, very easy to use, and very difficult to counterfeit. And that's really our main focus when we issue a banknote. We've had a couple in the last few years, a $20 bill in 2015 and a commemorative note in 2017. That was specifically for something to celebrate a special occasion. But for the most part, when we issue banknotes, it's all to stay ahead of counterfeiting so people feel confident using our money.
Manuel, like employees at Ben & Jerry's, if you work at the factory there, every day they're allowed to take 2 pints of ice cream home. Do you get to bring banknotes home? Is that one of the perks? You get a couple of 20s every day?
Yeah, I wish. I mean, that's always a nice thing to think about. But, I mean, our banknotes are for everybody to use. And let's just say we don't give out gifts.
All right. We'll leave it there, Manuel.
I wouldn't mind working at Ben & Jerry's to get some ice cream.
Manuel, thanks for the time. I appreciate it. Fun talk.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. If I can just mention, if there's any information people want, our website, bankofcanada.ca, is a wonderful resource. And a reminder again, all you need to do is look at the security features and you can protect yourself from victimization.
Manuel Parreira, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much. That's Manuel Parreira, Regional Director of Currency with the Bank of Canada.